Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Millennial Investments. Tim here. We're going to be looking at some stocks that we'll be adding to our weekly watch list, as well as most likely putting some positions in going throughout the trading week, depending on how the markets pull back. One of those being BNGO, Bionano Genomics. It was actually about 1387 when we were initially looking at the stock. And as you can see, it actually jumped up to about $16, but unfortunately pulled back to the 780s. Since the past two market rotations, past 2 weeks of market rotation that we've seen, and then the concern of inflation's coming in based on the 10-year yield and stuff like that. So we're going to go through this and do some technical analysis, and then we'll look at some fundamentals as well as some DD that we've collected on the stock, and then just kind of go from there with our determination on whether or not we're actually going to get into this trade. I'm pretty confident that we will be going into the week, most likely Monday, depending upon how the markets open, like I said. So to get started, though, like I said, we were watching this when it was around 1387, I believe, was when I initially saw the stock. And since then, it actually broke out to $15, $16. Right now, it's sitting at 780, right above the support level that was defined. It was once resistance on January 4th. Once the stock retested that level, it broke out pretty well. Bounced up to about the 990s and then fell back down to about 713, finding that support again. And that triggered it to continue moving forward to those 1387 levels. And once it started retesting that, it went to 16. And then, of course, over the past 2 weeks, it's pulled back just like most stocks, which provided us with a great opportunity to get into the trade, seeing that we missed the initial jump. It's currently sitting at 780, like I said. Broke through that level of support, but there was a lot of downward pressure from the rest of the market, so it's understandable. But the fact that it bounced right back above it, and after our session, above that 780, we look to see. We're looking to see if it stays above those levels going into market open tomorrow. That's Monday, March 8th. So we're looking at making a position on this, like I said, and we'll be focusing on some key levels somewhere right around this 1322. If we bounce up above those levels, then we'll go back to the 16s, of course. But what we're looking for is at least testing the 939s first to confirm that it moves. If we were to get in around this $7.75 to $8 range, that'll give us about somewhere near 20% on the swing. But what we want to see is it get above that 939 with some strong momentum. And even if it pulls back or retraces just a little bit, at least confirm some support above those levels, as long as the markets allow it to do so without pulling back any further. But if it finds that 939, then we'll probably add to the position and then allow it to retest those 1322s. Ultimately, for about 100% off of our initial trade, and then about another 70 to 80% off our secondary trade that we're looking at getting into it. And then, of course, we'll see how we retest those 1322s. It was previously heavier resistance before, and then attempted to become support before the markets actually pulled back and weighed down on this. So that's our outlook on the stock. I'll go ahead and color coordinate this, so once we review it again, we can kind of identify what we're looking for. That red line being our longer term resistance level that we'll look to retest. That orange line will be our mid-level resistance, is what we'll call it, to confirm the secondary entry into it. And then this being our new support level ultimately. And then I'll go ahead and identify this additional support level somewhere around the 425s, which will be a strong suit. If the markets pull back, then we'll look at how it retests those levels before making the entry. So that's our play on it. Is markets pull up coming into Monday, market open, and stays moving to the upside, then we'll go ahead and place a position in this between 780, 820, and ride it up to the 939, which will give us about the 10 to 15% swing on it initially, and then look for that support above that 939 to potentially make another entry into it. If the markets go down, then we'll look for this area right around here. Of course, it did hit 559, but if the markets are going to come down, it's going to bring some harder pressure down as people start to, get concerned and stuff like that. But so I'm not necessarily going to say that it's going to top out at that 556 level or bottom out at the 556, but ultimately potentially come back to this 425. And if it does, then we'll get it almost for 50% discount of what we were initially looking at around the 780 to 820s anyway. So wouldn't be mad at that. This is a great company. We'll look at some fundamentals here in a second and kind of go over that to basically see how the company's performing overall. Let me get that pulled up for us. Let's see. Give me just a second. I'll take it back to the chart while I'm sitting there. Fundamentals, detach, get that over here for us. And then we're BNGO. So anyways, moving forward though, fundamentally, pretty sound company. Quarter over quarter down negative 25%. Quarter over quarter EPS growth, and then up 39% net profit margins. But one thing that I want to look at is if they even have it listed on here. It doesn't look like they do. Oh, market capitalization per common equity ratio, and that's in about 6.57, which means there's a lot of bullish investment sentiment into the stock and where it's capable of going. Ultimately, we're hoping to potentially retest those $13-14 price ranges, but it'd be nice to see it get back up to about 16 and continue moving higher. So some of the DD that we brought into this session that we're having right now. So basically this company focuses on constitutional genetic diseases as well as blood cancer using a device called Sapphire. And the Sapphire is one of the only systems to identify SVs, which are the cause for constitutional genetic diseases and blood cancers, which are missed by existing systems currently on the market. And what they expect is that they're able to capture 20% more of undiagnosed patients that have incorrect results from traditional or existing systems in the market now. They estimate that their market opportunity will be about 2.6 to 3.8 billion based on selling as many as 10,000 Sapphire systems. So that's definitely something we'll be looking at. It also shows that Sapphire can diagnose it. I already stated that. I'm sorry that. But they're advancing discovery research for ALS, Alzheimer's disease, hepatocellular, I'm not even going to try to say it, but there's a list of things: disorder of sex development, leukemia, epilepsy, and development delay, congenital diaphragmatic hernias. I mean, it's what this system is able to provide now is very strong. It's also used to identify variants in host genomes that influence COVID-19 response, severity, progression, and drug response. I mean, it's pretty much a wonderful device that they've developed and has yet to really hit the market and capture some of that revenue. And then also back in August 2020, they acquired Lineagen, if I'm saying it right, a leader in diagnostic services for pediatric neurodevelopmental disorders, such as muscular weakness and things of that nature. So looking pretty good as a company overall, something to hold longer term once it does hit market stronger. I would look forward to hit that 10,000 mark in the long term, and then that they're basically capitalizing on that 2.6 to 3.8 billion dollars that they're aiming for with this simple device, and that's only selling 10,000 Sapphire systems. So just imagine if we can do 20,000, 30,000 in the future to come. So definitely something to watch going into this. I just wanted to share some of this information with you. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Also, if you found any of this information beneficial whatsoever, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel to receive future notifications about trade reviews such as this one, our weekly watch list, which we'll be doing every Saturday or Sunday, one or the other. And then also joining us in our coffee and stock sessions where we review some of the trades you want to look at, which we do every pre-market session at 7 a.m. Central Time. And we also host a weekly preparation session on Saturdays about 10 a.m. Central Time. But like I said, I hope this was beneficial for you in any form or fashion in regards to your investments and potential trades going into this week. We're looking at making a position on the trade, and I wanted to share the information that I found on the company with you all. Otherwise, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your weekend to watch this, and also showing your support for the channel. Like I said, if you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll also put in our links in the description to connect with us directly on Facebook, Twitter, and all social media sites centered on investments, including StockTwits, TradingView, and we have a Discord community as well that you can join that's free to discuss more of these trades with us moving forward. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we look forward to what the week brings as long as the markets pull up. I hope everybody sees some green days going through the week and make some great trades. Otherwise, good luck trading and have a good day. Thank you.